LNG, Malta, Cyprus, Madeira versus Spanish flag bunker. Many think that the Spanish flag really is obsolete and it has the minimum historically of about 90 ships and falling, and it did have in the really nice days of 1970s around 700 ships. Now, what is the competitive advantage of the LNG bunker Spanish flag? It's very simple. We could have really talent retention, ESG, corporate social responsibility, transparency. Invest Spanish cadets. Sí, por favor. Also, you need to think that the Spanish cabotage it's going to grow. There are around 75 ships in this planet, and 50% trade around Spain. LNG bunker, therefore, will be 50% around. So it is a huge competitive advantage to have these cadets and stable long-term promotions. As you know, the officers and ratings, they have a 2:1 ratio for retirement, so being employed 25 years, sailing 12.5, they can accrue as if 50 years employed. So this is the biggest competitive advantage. No other European flag does have this advantage, and therefore it is a huge competitive advantage to have really the expansion setup of your good company. If you have 2-3 LNG bunker ships and thinking about the 50, then we can really employ 300 Spanish cadets, and then you can divide 6 per ship if they stay on board. If not, we can really have other nationalities on board. Now there is a huge 500,000 new Spanish under the regularization of the government, which about 4,000 are going to be seafarers. We can train them, and we can think about the Spanish flag because the terminals around Spain are going to need the Spanish language. We know that the top officers will require English for communication with the other top officers' units. Therefore, think very seriously. I think it's about 5% more expensive only today. Could be tomorrow more expensive to have the chief engineers and the captains go away. Could be too expensive to have this new exchange and visa requirement that crew must inform when they join and when they leave Europe, and if they forget about it, then they will not be able to return again to Europe, same as America legislation of visas. So anyways, it is very interesting today if your company is thinking about 50 LNG bunker ships, because we can have a huge retention, and also those captains earning, let's say, $90,000, 100 or euros, 100,000, 120,000 euros per year. They have a 50% tax reduction, which is a huge competitive advantage. And also Social Security is 90% employer grant, which it really goes for the officers and crew, because then they have these sanitary assistance, pension, unemployment, the whole lot included. Therefore, contact us, because there is many that are afraid of this Spanish flag. Of course, if they don't have 200,000 seafarers in the database, if they don't have the biggest database of Spanish and the Latinos, of course, you cannot fight yourself alone with this flag. You need to have a lot of pull and a lot of talent and a lot of supply long term, and you need to be here and understand this logarithm of the Spanish flag, because these incompetent shore people have made this registry, and that's why it's falling. So you need really experts that can adapt to this system, and that's why we are here and we can do that. And if you're an oil major, think about invest in your people, your waters, your trade. That's goodwill. How much is it worth goodwill? 5%? Thank you, bye.